Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I am going to do the most dreaded thing that I just feel like is going to take me so much time, and that is setting up my classroom library. So today I am only going to focus on sorting my books into the different genres and putting on the labels. So I decided I'm not going to do any book bins, and I am not going to separate by levels just because I think it prevents students to be able to challenge themselves, and it kind of limits their ability of like what books they can read. So, and not doing bins allows just because doing book bins, it's so expensive, and it can also ruin books if like students like put in a book that's too big inside a bin. So therefore, I am going to color coordinate all my books. So I'm going to be separating the books by genres, and then each genre is going to have a color that goes with it. And then I'm going to set up a big poster that is like a key or a reference for them, just so they know. And then when students want to return a book, they'll be able to just match up the color with the other colors of the books. So it should be really easy for my first graders because all they have to know is like, okay, if I have a blue book, I need to put it in the blue section of the library. So if you want to see how I do my library and how I set it up, then just continue watching. So just an update, these are all the books, and then I have more books in here. I also labeled all my books with my labels that say from the library Mr. Sui, just in case if any of my books ever get misplaced, students and teachers know where the book or who the book belongs to. And then I'll just like put it in the front cover of the books. Just so you guys all know, I did not purchase like any of these books, just a few of them from the local thrift store. But all the other books I've gotten from professors or like a book bank, and just like different ways that I just acquired the books was like through other people. So I did not spend my money on all these books because that's just way too much. So now you're going to just see me separate all my books into different genres, and then I will update you once that is all completed. Alrighty, so I just finished sorting at least what I have so far, so maybe when I go through labeling them I might change it up, but just so you know, I ended up sorting them by, these are like the books that are a little bit too intricate for them, so I'll just do it as read alouds and like talk through the books, and then I separate it by like different series or well-known characters, so like I have Dr. Seuss, Biscuit, Amelia Bedelia, Pete the Cat, and then we kind of go into like animals, and then we have lessons that they can learn, as well as like friends and family. We have like the common tales, my favorites, it's going to be a section, and then we have holidays, school, pets, and then this is like all about like different countries and places. And then we have a miscellaneous pile, which I don't know if I'm going to just keep this as a pile or like a different like grouping of books in my library, or I might just add it to the pile over there, which is like the books that are a little bit too complex, just because like when I was going through these, it was just really hard to be able to like narrow it down into a further subcategory or genre. But then we have like Danny the Dinosaur, comics, Winter, Arthur, Clifford, Eric Carle, and Fancy Nancy. So this is what it looks like, and it literally took forever, and I don't know, I'm so tired. I've literally spent all day on it, so I don't know if I'm going to label everything today, but yeah. Okay, stay tuned. I'm going to show you how I add my books onto my online app. So I use BookBuddy, which is the blue app with the book. So what I will do is I'll open it up and you can see how it shows you all the different things. And to add a book, you would go down and you would hit add book. And you can see that you can do scan, single, multiple, search online, or add manually. So you'll tap whatever option you would like. So for example, I would add in single barcode. So then you would just start scanning the different books at the barcode. And when you're scanning all these different books, it starts generating an online profile for them. And then it will show you what books you scanned and what ones went through. And then you would just hit save. And it gives you all the information like subtitle, series, author, the publisher. You can rate the book and you can also see who you checked out the book to. And it just keeps track of it online and easily. And if you want to remove a book, you just would hit remove book and it will remove it from your library, like I showed you. And then if you want to add a book manually, you would have to select that option. You would type in your own title or the title of the book, and then you would also type in the author as well. And this is good for books that don't pull up when you scan the online barcode, or even when you search it manually, it still won't show up, so then you'll just have to enter it on your own. And I found these are good for books that are like super ancient. The books are super ancient that are hard to find. But if you can see, it shows you all your books and it puts them into genres. And so that is the app I use. So it is now day 2 and this project is starting to get way out of hand. It's taking me a lot longer than I wanted it to. But practically where I'm at now is I have all of my labels made. So I tried to get them printed, but it was taking way too long. So now I just decided to paint on top of them, and then I'm going to label them just because then I get the colors that I want. So I use the Avery 5160 style, and I just painted them the different colors that I want. And what I'm going to do is I am going to take one of these labels and I'm going to cut them in half because they're pretty long, so you can use 2 labels for one book. So, I mean, you can use one label for 2 books. So what I'm going to do is just cut them and then I'll label them, but I'll show you what I'll film it so you just know kind of what I'm doing. So yeah. Okay, so what I was telling you earlier, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on my friends and family section of the books. So I have these labels. So my first step is I'm going to cut one of the columns in half just because these labels are just way too long and it saves the amount of labels you use. And so then on one side, I'll peel it off so it's about this big. And then I'll take the book, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it right on the edge of the spine. So I would put it right on the edge of the spine. And then when you have it, it will look like that, where the label is on one side, on the other, and it's right at the bottom. And I'm just going to do that with all my books for every single label that I have. So this is going to take a long time, but I think once it's all done, it's just going to look put together and well worth it. So if you can see how it's labeled, there we go. So we're just going to keep on doing that and we're going to see how it goes. Okay, so I just finished labeling everything and it looks so good. So I'm going to show you what it looks like, and clearly I spent way longer than I wanted to. It is like completely like dark outside. So yeah, I've been working on this all day, but I think it's going to look really good. So I'll just show you what everything looks like. And then if you're interested to see what it's going to look like once I get into my classroom, I'll like make a part 2 to the video so you can just see how it looks on the shelves, and then also too with the chart that's going to have the different topics so that the students are able to know what different topics there are in the library and so on. But I'll show you what it looks like all labeled right now. So if you can see, like all of these are purple. We have blue for Clifford, Amelia Bedelia is like a gray, and if you can just see like the Biscuit, Arthur series and stuff like that. So they're all just like labeled with their color. So yellow for this one. So it kind of just like goes around the table of the different things. But this pile right here and this pile, I'm actually going to keep within my teacher's closet, within my storage closet, just because the books are a little bit harder to understand. So I'm just going to I'll probably use the books as a read aloud, and if I don't use them, then I'll just donate them. I give them away. And then same with these books. These books I'm using for a read aloud as well. So yeah, this is the big mess in here, but yeah.